Hello again there, friends and fans. Raptor here, and today I couldn't be more excited because we finally get to take our first look at the long-awaited ancient cities. This is getting me excited for all the other city builders coming up in the future, such as Manor Lords, and really any that I probably have found in the last year have been stellar, from Ostriv to Dawn of Man to even Kingdoms and Castles and Foundation. I've really been enjoying city builders recently, but something about these more realistic, hardcore city builders such as this one really brings something to the table that others don't. Well, Ancient Cities, again, now available on Steam as of December 17th, 2020 in early access. You too can guide your people to greatness as you build your very own settlement or colony or civilization from the very, very early days of man all the way back to 10,000 BC. Check this out, actually. With the slider at the bottom, we can change the all-familiar Europe to more of the very, very old. Check this out, actually. Denmark still isn't even formed yet under the Ice Age as we go towards more modern era. Check that out. You can actually see things form before your very eyes. Now, this game seems to go all the way up to 1000 AD as far as you'll probably be able to play. They're about halfway done with adding everything they intend to do. For now, we'll start somewhere around like 6000 BC. And another great thing is that mods might be a part of this game too, so perhaps somebody will bring it up to more modern times, you know, through medieval eras and such. Maybe there'll be castle building, who knows? But the fact that there could be a big modding community around this game really excites me. Well, let me go ahead and read the Steam page to you real quick. Ancient Cities is a survival and strategy city builder game based on ancient times. Starting in the Mesolithic era, you'll have to guide your people through generations, discovering and improving technologies, managing resources and population, and facing threats from raiders and Mother Nature herself, and ultimately building the most fantastic city of antiquity through the ages of fully simulated world and ecosystem. Now that is quite a lot, but it's really going to be something that I think is going to be more realistic and hardcore than other games that we played, more similar to Dawn of Man, which again was really a fantastic survival city builder, and this should be no different. But I hope there's a lot of differences too. Now, for starters, we can start in this lighted area around northern Spain to some of Germany, Denmark, and the English Isles there, British Isles. And we're going to start here northern France, and I think this might be a good area. If we settle anywhere more north, though those landscapes don't yet have the forests that they would in modern times, as they're still growing. So let's go ahead and start here today. If you haven't already, make sure you click, tap, blow up, and destroy that like button. Show me your excitement, and go ahead and subscribe if you're new here as we rocket towards 1 million subs. Developers are giving me free keys for these games all the time. So if you haven't yet followed me on Twitter, and if you haven't yet subscribed, which only half of the people who watch, by the way, 1 and 2 people aren't even subbed, you're missing out. Don't miss out any further on giveaways or city builder games by subscribing today. We're going to start in spring, 6616 Methylistic. Oh, look at that, from 10,000 BC to 3,500. Wow. So we actually are right in the middle right there. That should be pretty cool. Or actually a little later will be the end of the Mesolithic era. Very cool. We get to go through that in Dawn of Man, so that's quite exciting. All right, well, let's go ahead and start building our city. Here we go. Well, here we are, near a very beautiful twisting river through the landscapes of northern France. Our lands here are covered in rolling hills and trees, and we, the Raptorians, are going to be victorious. Raptorians. Fantastic. You can rename your little culture there. I don't know if you can change the symbol or whatnot, but that is just amazing. So we're starting here with a few people, a few supplies. We need to find a place to settle down before we run out of those supplies. Right now we have raw hide and dry fish with us. That is not going to last very long. Though it is a long-lasting food, we've only got a short amount of time to settle down here. So as you can see at the top, we have our year, how long we've been playing in years. We have our current season, time of day, controls for speed, temperature, and then of course the option to go back to the world map, which we're on right now. Let's go ahead and get ready to settle down. There's also options here for work groups, policies, culture, and a little wiki, which gives you a little bit more information about anything you might need to know. This is promising too, by the way. I'm wondering if we settle down our city. I haven't gotten this far just yet, but it'd be kind of cool if we could have settlements along this river and start trading with other camps and settlements that we've created. That would be quite interesting. Well, let's go ahead and migrate right now and settle down next to this little river, and we shall begin our first settlement here in Ancient Cities. We'll go ahead and speed up time a little bit too, since they need to travel during the day. And boom, ladies and gentlemen, they got it. They have arrived. All right, let's load in and see what it has to offer. Berry bushes are plentiful on the plains, while mushrooms and hazelnuts can be found in the mountains. But beware, these are seasonal. Use priority to control what tasks should be done first. Use vacancies to limit the workforce in a group. Lots of good tips here on the loading screen. There also is a tutorial to this game that'll load up on the right side, but I've already kind of gone through that, and though I've gone through a lot, the game still needs some balancing purposes. You know, obviously this is a early access game, so they'll be asking for a lot of feedback to either make the game more challenging or more forgiving in certain areas, or to make things flow better so that way you can have a better chance at survival with your people. Of course, we can build walls and things around our town. Oh, I can't wait. It's just going to be a few huts, but this is going to be an amazing kingdom. A big old town, a big city, a thriving empire. Here we are. Our people have finally arrived on this beautiful morning, and this will be the beginning of our nation's story. Check that out. Look at that. Beautiful. All right, well, everyone's going around to gather like food and whatnot and scout out. We're going to go find ourselves a river. As you can see, it looks a lot like Donoman in terms of a lot of rocks around, trees, bushes. All right, let's go find ourselves a beautiful river so we can start construction. Ah, here we are. Fantastic. Oh, and there's a giant rock in the middle. Fantastic. Let's see. What side of the river would be best to settle on? I guess we'll kind of settle over here. A nice big open area for our camp. Actually, right here is perfect. Let's go ahead and start here. So one of the first things we'll need to do is, as you can see, there's lots of little sticks and branches and stuff around from trees and rivers flooding and pushing up everything on the shoreline. We're going to have to start building some houses, don't you think? But before we do that, we need to start making areas for storage to take place. So we better start immediately with some of the buildings that we need to store items. We'll take a look here at the housing options. We have straw huts, small straw huts, and pelt huts. Of course, differences in how many people can be housed inside and how warm they will be during the cold nights. We also have storage for food, such as the baskets here or the pits, ways to store straw and dry that out if needed, and of course a storage area there that we'll get started with shortly. Dryers for fishing, services such as the fireplace for cooking, and of course fences to keep everything organized and safe if we need to with, for example, military-like walls here, a defensive fence of wooden stakes. We also have the option to put down a religious building with 1,000 stone, and plenty of what they call decorations for now, which I'm thinking that they'll be used later in the game, but that they haven't yet put the function in. So, for example, we can grab grain, mill it then, turn it into flour, put it into the oven, and actually use it, and then use the well to get water, and a pelt tanner in order to create some sort of leather. Maybe not something like leather armor, but maybe straps or something that will be used in the future. Let's get started. So a couple options here for making our first storage area. We can do a custom drawing of a circle. We can do a circle that we can enlarge or shrink ourselves, or we can do a square. And I think right now we'll start with a square for trying to keep things as simple as possible. Let's go ahead and make a storage area here then for sticks. And sometimes that's not perfect. That looks good though. So we'll go ahead and store sticks there. We'll store straw there. And we will store something else here as well. Let's go ahead and make sure we designate these. So we want fine sticks, if we can. Let's see where those might be. Well, we'll need plant fibers stored here, so that's important. So we'll go ahead and turn that function on. Then we'll go ahead and turn on the gathering of sticks. Right here. And we'll also need to turn on the gathering of something else. What might it be? Straw might be useful. There we go. We'll turn all of those on, and we'll be using some more of those very soon. We'll also need to gather rope, too, so we might need to make one more of those. Our people should come over to start clearing that area shortly. They're on their way now to walk over here to start working. Let's go ahead and also build some homes. And, of course, you can see here what we'll need for some of our structures and what will be available from these work groups. They're going to start by building some of these homes. And we're going to try to build maybe back here so we can put a wall around everything. And we'll be close to the river for water and fishing. Fantastic. All right. Now this temporary area here, we can move eventually once our camp expands. And we'll be able to put more people here once they join us after some time. Let's go ahead and start with 3 homes. And we can place these pretty much anywhere and rotate too. There are many ways to rotate things and make it easier to place down. And some of our people can flatten the area a little bit. There is minor terraforming, but it's not very expansive. But it is time consuming. We'll also place down a fireplace there too. And we'll see them get to work here very shortly. Alright, they should be on the way to build some of these structures. While we're waiting, let's assign some jobs. Ooh, did I see some movement over here? Ah, they're over here on this side. They've got to cross the river then. On this side, there's some trees and very limited areas to build. Oh, this would be a good area to build too. Kind of exposed though, and far away from trees. They'll have to make a little bit of a walk, but of course we can expand our city as we want. Let's take a look real quick at the graphics. The rocks in the river are really impressive. Very, very well done. And there's plenty of reeds along, so we can make roofs and other types of things out of those more durable materials. Maybe we can make baskets and such from that. Not everything has to be made from plant fiber. We also have this nice rock here, too. That's really cool. You'd think after thousands of years that would be out of there. Let's see. Landscape looks really beautiful and lush. Trees are blowing in the wind. Good details. All right. Well, let's get back to our people then. They're just down here getting started on their day. And it'll take them several days to build a house. A little bit of a walk here isn't too far, but it will take them some time to get working. Let's go ahead and start assigning some jobs here. So if we go towards groups, we want to assign a work group then to start gathering. And we'll have to tell them to start gathering maybe food, but we'll probably want sticks first. So let's have a group of 3 to go gather sticks. Excellent. And they'll bring those back to the storage areas as designated. We'll go ahead and select another group. And we'll have another group of people doing gathering of, let's go for berries. Some food to store. We'll then have to make baskets and such, but we'll get on that shortly. We also want to make another group in order to do crafting when we get a chance to do that. And we'll probably have another 3 do that as well. And they'll take plant fibers and then eventually turn those into ropes. All right, let's go ahead and get back to creating yet another storage area. There we are. So back to storage, we'll make yet another storage area. And for now, this is probably the easiest way to make storage by trying to make these as close as possible. And sometimes the storage areas won't be perfect due to the landscape, so you'll just have to make do. I mean, this is literally the first settlement of man, so it's pretty impressive. And our craftsmen should be able to make ropes soon. So let's go over everything again. So we have straw being stored here. We have rope of plant fibers that'll be stored there, and then plant sticks that'll be stored there, and plant fibers will be made into rope next to that. And that's everything that'll be needed to make the houses. Now they're starting to clear the land, as you can see underneath the houses, and I'm not exactly sure how many people can live in each house, but I don't think 3 will be enough. But it's a good start to try to get everything rolling here very soon. Our people can chop down trees and eventually use that for firewood or for defensive wall building. So that'll be important. And I may have made these too big, but we'll learn. We're like mankind. We'll learn as we go, trial and error. Wow, look at that. A lot of straw being gathered. That's fantastic. Actually, as they're clearing these areas for storage, they're actually making straw that way. So it's kind of a win-win. We're clearing storage areas and we're getting materials to build these houses. Fantastic. All right, let's go ahead and lay out the rest of our city, too. We'll make the houses a higher priority, so that way they don't work on anything else first. We want the houses to be first, and then things like the fire pit, since they already have dry fish, and berries to snack on. All right, back to it. Let's build ourselves a couple of pits to store our food. And I guess that'll be a smart idea to put it somewhat near the fireplace, or the fire pit. It looks like we can rotate with R. Makes sense, doesn't it? We'll make a small pit there to store food. Oh, we could cancel the other one. If we can. There we are. Okay, good. So they'll start building the homes first. Let's lay out some of the other things that we might need around this camp. We can also set policy as to how long people will work and what age they'll have to work at, and rationing for our people. Right now it's full rations. Let's set that to a little lower until we have a more consistent food source. We also need to make sure we turn on all of these so they function. Make sure they're working. There we are. So they're all functioning now. And we should have some craftsmen working shortly too. Make sure we've got some assigned. Craftsman 0 out of 3 at the moment. Everybody else is either busy building a home or moving land to store. Ooh. And it looks like some of these people are also gathering rocks. Yeah, might be a good idea to store some over here too. Otherwise, they'll bring them straight to the fire pit, which requires some rocks too. The fireplace, for example, requires a little bit of material. Lack of raw stones, 13, so everything right here will just be brought right over to the fire pit. Cool. One thing I like about this game so far too, though I wish were slightly different, is the options for music. If we speed up time, you get a slightly different song than this one. This one kind of feels like you're trying to answer a question on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. That's where some of the other ones are just a little more poppy and get you in the mood to get started. Alright, our people now are lacking some raw materials. Let's see. They're lacking raw stones for these houses too. So they're just getting those, I guess, as they go. You can kind of see everybody working on things. Take a look at the detail of the characters. All these people look pretty detailed. You can name them differently. It'll tell you their age and different skills about them. Things such as charisma, fitness, intelligence, skill, and will, which are all then determined by religious buildings, food, energy, that type of thing. Also, some drawbacks, such as being dumb or repellent, rather. Very good. All right, well, they're still gathering, and they're working very slowly, but that's the beginning of man. And they're also gathering sticks here and larger stones and whatnot. Oh, there we go. Ropes are starting to be gathered, or is that plant fiber? Plant fibers are being stored here. Good. Very good. I'm really impressed with our people so far. Good job, everyone. Glory to Raptoria. Well, let's speed up time a little bit so we can see things function a little bit more. Now, if you've seen anyone else play this so far, or if you think you have things figured out, don't be afraid to give me tips or tricks either, as there is still plenty of things to learn in this game for everyone. So thanks for being so kind and patient with everyone as we try to learn a very new and exciting game. I want to try to put a fishing area down here, so let's do that. Let's see if we can assign a work area for that. And we'll try to do it with the custom drawing. Something along these lines. Looks like our people are actually gathering reeds, too. Good. I draw a little area here, and it doesn't seem to take. Maybe a little bit later. We can also designate areas for gathering of materials, or food, rather. Material gathering, food, chopping, also fish, and migrating. So we can tell our people to migrate if we don't want to stay here. We can continue to travel. So we can settle down temporarily, and if this wasn't the best spot, we can tell our people to move somewhere else, I believe, just within this map, but possibly the mini-map, too. The world map, I should say, though it's not the full world, of course. All right, how are things going? It looks like the first homes are almost being constructed. They're starting to put things together. They're just having a lack of sticks now. And let's see how many sticks are stored here. 22. So materials are being distributed where they can. Oh, it looks like the fireplace is almost done, too. We'll be reaching the end of our first day here very shortly. Not bad. 4 areas for storage, materials gathered, and basic homes being constructed. That seems to be a pretty relevant one-to-one amount of time. I feel like if you had 20 people and this were early times and you were trying to communicate to build 3 huts and a storage area and what to gather and where, that's probably about how long it's going to take you. Take a look at all of our storage here. We have 32 fiber, and it looks like we're making ropes too, so these homes can at least be constructed to start with. And as soon as we have these 3, we'll build another 3. What I think we'll do here is we'll probably build a few homes in a circle around the storage areas and then move those outside and try to build a wall around this, since our people have the ability to do that. So let's see here. Fireplaces here, straw huts. Now things are looking really good and easy to build too. Unfortunately, rain on our first day, but as they have the saying at weddings, that could be a good sign. All right, let's go ahead and check out. Let's see, pits, haystacks, baskets, another great area to store food. Let's go ahead and do that too. We have our pit there. We'll do food storage back here. Area to store fish. Hopefully we don't get attacked by a bear. All right, let's continue to speed up time. We'll have to go through nighttime here shortly, so let's give our people a little bit of a break as we go through our first night. Little torch comes out. It'll be very hard to see for a minute, but we do have skip nights activated, I believe. So as soon as it gets dark, it should get light very quickly. Although it is almost impossible to see. And it looks like some of our people are already sleeping like the Sims. Oh, and rain too. Well, that's why we got to build those shelters, so we're up and running on that very shortly. And the game has saved. Looks like everybody's spread out too to sleep. Interesting. All right, some of our people going back to gather some other materials maybe at the spawn area. And some of them going back to build the homes and gather more supplies. Let's slow down time a little bit. Give them a chance to gather the remaining materials and complete construction. Looks like some of these constructions here are almost done. We just need more people gathering. Let's assign more people to gather so they have more to do. Now that we're done with the basic layouts, we'll assign more things to gather. Gather non-stop. Higher priority. With a few more people working. And we'll do the same for the other work group too. Let's see. So we have 6 of them gathering non-stop and a few gathering berries. That's not a bad start, actually. And we can tell them, I believe, to gather more than one thing at a time. So we can also say fine stone now and raw stones. And we can tell the food group to go find mushrooms and such. Let's go with the other group here to gather mushrooms if they find them. And rose hips, which I believe can be used for health. And then there's also bones, but we don't really have any area to store those yet. But we do have our food pit up, so things can be put in there and stored for the time being once it's complete. Otherwise, they'll just kind of bring it back and set it on the ground. And it won't have a long durability, but eventually it'll get done. Lots of sticks gathered. Fantastic. Good job, everyone. Now we need to start turning these plant fibers into actual rope. Otherwise, our people aren't going to be able to build these homes. Let's see. What might be missing? Sticks. Sticks. And more sticks. My goodness. Alright, quite a few sticks being gathered there. Oh, but people actually building the homes. The construction is taking place. There we go. Takes quite some time. I've experimented with this once or twice just to see how people react, and it looks like they do take some time. They take breaks and go and do other jobs. Even if they're near construction, they'll go and do something else. So, for example, gathering sticks is just a part of what they'll do. They'll go do some construction, and then they'll go down to the lake or something for water or food. Alright, we have a few rope here, but not enough. Looks like we have a shortage. So let's get back to those craftsmen and make sure they're making ropes. Let's see. We could link to a structure. We'll assign them there. And then we should have some members join that group shortly. And they should be gathering and making ropes now. Fantastic. So you can see the other ways to do that. Man, is that awesome. Very cool. Whenever there's a free hand, they should be able to make ropes. Although it's not needed. The sticks are the most important thing. And we head into our second day. Look at the amount of straw that they've gathered. That is great. Those homes are really going to need that. It's good they gathered that first. And there was really no choice since they were clearing the land. Alright, more sticks are needed. We should probably put all of our people on gathering materials then. Most of them are on gathering materials. Everyone else is either too young to work or is focused on building homes. And some of them are not happy that they had to sleep in the open. I don't blame them. Let's add some more spots. There we go. Alright, hopefully the home construction will be completed by tomorrow. And we'll continue to build more homes each day as we get closer towards having this camp complete. It's going to take quite some time to do. I mean, it's not like Rome was built in a day. But we'll get better each time that we do this. It'll be exciting to see what other things our people can discover too. Like, for example, clay or underground homes. Or if you could use other types of building styles from across the world, or if it's just strictly going to be European for now. But it seems like you'll be able to build in different places. There'll be more options in the future to have different building materials and different styles. Even though it's ancient times, they were pretty simple, but yet still unique and different. 167 sticks are here now, so they just need to be delivered. So our gatherers are doing quite a big job here. Let's make building homes the top priority for today. Good. I wish the skip night option would actually fully skip night, or just wouldn't go pitch black for nighttime, or maybe for a brief second, just to let you know that it's the middle of the night. Alright, more things to build. We're now focusing on these homes. And we're almost done with our first home. Great. I want to lay out the rest of them now, so let's do that. And we'll go ahead and put some straw huts down until we get pelts. Oh, looks like the speed slows down if we're doing that. Try to build a few more. Good. Now we can put a wall right on the outside of this. This is actually going to be a perfect size if we put a wall around this with some gates, and then in the middle we can have our storage and also food, which will probably be the most important thing as we are getting ready to fight our biggest enemy, which is winter. Our first and foremost thing is to have a basic shelter, but we will need other types of logs and such up in order to get ready for the winter time. Let's go ahead and start designating some trees to cut down. We'll cut down anything on our initial area. So anybody who wants to cut can go ahead and do that. We'll go ahead and tell them that they can gather. I think that counts. We don't want to build a structure, but we are designating zones. I've seen this function before. More materials are being dropped off. Let's see here. We've got just a few stones. 35 sticks. 32. And just some rope, which needs to just be brought over and crafted. Looks like the craftsmen are working on that and bringing them right over. Our people are not focusing on the first homes, though. I thought that we had those homes to be a higher priority, but to be honest, we have 197 sticks in storage, so it should be enough to drop off and build a basic frame. But this is what early access gets you, is a little bit more of a polish on some of the aspects of the game. When the developers see certain things acting differently, they can always make a change to that. But delivering construction resources could also be the responsibility of those working at these storage areas too. Wow, you can see with 204 sticks, our storage isn't even that close to being full. So we might not need that large storage for that, for sticks, but for plant materials it might be a good idea to have bigger ones. And for rope, not as big needed. Oh, our first home is almost complete. It takes some time, but I'm getting excited. And it looks like our fire pit is also requiring sticks too. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and get people off gathering now and see if we can get them back on doing construction. Let's just assign a few people and see what happens. All right. And craftsmen are set to 3 out of 3 for the ropes. I think we should build a few more. Good. Now, there's different ways to do this, too. You can create a work group and then tell that work group to be assigned to building the actual structure itself. So if, for example, a building just needs sticks, then you can tell them to go gather sticks and then use those sticks on a building. And then once they're done, that work group is no longer useful, and you can assign them to other things if you want to. So you can assign the work group, or you can assign it by building, or you can continuously reassign the work group to other projects, or you can disband the group after they're done. Wow, look at the materials that we have. 158, 340. Looks like we have 1 fine stone. That's a fine stone indeed. All right, let's speed up time yet again. We should have our first home here completed very shortly. We are just waiting for another rope to be complete. And that'll be made on all that plant fiber. It's probably being delivered to the site right now. Let's see here. And let's make a higher priority to this group. There we go. Let's see. We're also going to assign this building to them. And let's go to another work group too. Bum, 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 bum. How lovely. And we'll assign this group some of these homes, and we'll do it the opposite way, where we will assign the structures to be constructed, but we will assign more people to actually work on both gathering and constructing to see if we can speed that up. Very arduous to build your first home, but at least we start with sticks and materials like that rather than raw hides. And it's fairly easy to get all that straw. You just clear the area nearby. Alright, let's see how things go. In the meantime, we could start building our wall around our camp and then assign people to do something with that later. Well, let's see. Production of fish, that would be important. Let's put that down too so we have all of our stuff ready to go. That is a big dryer. We'll put that right there. And we'll try to start putting down... We can put down fences, which might guide our people around the map. And kind of make areas for roads. Well, would you look at that? We can start building walls. Fairly easy to build, too. Of course, it's 12 logs per section, so let's try to build that a little closer to the camp. Now, I don't know if we have options for gates, so we'll have to leave it a little bit open for now. Could build an opening here. Might be a good area there for an opening. I don't know if we can confirm the construction with a partially built section. So maybe we need to build a full circle. Let's try that first. A little bit of an experiment here, fighting the camera. We don't want any holes in the wall, though. If we can build a gate. If not, a hole in the wall would be at least defendable. As we build our first section here. Looks like we can kind of build a door. Ah, double clicking finishes that up. Ah, there we go. We can actually lay it out with logs. That's cool. So that marks our territory then. And unfortunately, I don't think people are going to get in here if they start the construction of that, but that seems to be something you're going to want to do more end game. Once you have your economy up, you're going to need a lot of people cutting logs full time and moving them into position and actually constructing the wall and the gates around the town. All right. Ooh, and the first camp is almost ready. The first house is almost there. Good job. Signing some more people helped out. We don't need materials gathered anymore. What is here? Oh, looks like fine. Wait. No area for stone storage. Yeah, we're going to need to do that. Unfortunately, I don't think we can store multiple materials. Well, let's build a storage for that. I'd forgotten that. We didn't even have a stone storage. Mostly because we only had a few stones there and they were being used for the fireplace. So let's build another area for storage. We don't want to be under the craftsman tab, though. We can rename that tab if we want to, though. Like, for example, wall construction. Something along those lines. Okay, let's go with storage. This, of course, gets the whole camp to work on things, so that's pretty cool. Now, the cool thing is though some of these storage yards are way too big, for example, later with ropes, we can replace this with logs, and that'll help us to build the actual defensive wall itself. And for now, we can put stones somewhere else, like, for example, down here. Just a very small area. Let's use this. Cool. Not perfect, but it'll do. And let's change the material there to stones. And unfortunately, I don't think we can store anything else here. I think we can only choose one material at a time. There we go. Wow, look at all those markers around, huh? But you can at least see where the wall will be built. And it looks like people are actually clearing things out of the way. That's great. And our people are gathering more materials as they make way for the wall. We may redesign this. We could cancel it, but if the areas around the camp get cleared out, as you can see, this is going to be a pretty darn good defensive position for our camp. It's on the other side of a river, so we can really only be attacked by one side without the enemy being slowed down, or whatever it may be. Now, one thing I haven't seen so far in this game is there doesn't seem to be, at the moment, any signs of animals. No deer, no bears, no threats of any sort at the moment. But Mother Nature will fight you eventually. So not only will it be winters and storms, but I'm sure there'll be wolves and bears and other things like the IRS to fight. Real dangers to life. All right, well, let's go ahead and see if they're almost done with this house here. Oh, man, I'm so excited. Okay, this house is almost complete. I don't even know how many people can live here, but that's why we're building a few. And if we have way too many, then we, of course, have room for more people to join us. And if we don't have enough, we have a little bit more room on either side to build and sneak in a few more homes. Or we can readjust our wall. Very cool that we actually have the wall that we can design and research. All right, well, let's wait for these folks to build the wall. And the little tents, too. We'll give them assignment to start cutting down trees here very shortly. I just want to see how things play out. Okay, let's go ahead and do some more goals for the group. All right, let's build around the camp. Oh. We can chop down all the trees inside the camp. That would be awesome. I think that may have created that work group. Yes, it did, right there. Fishing and shopping. Though it doesn't... I didn't see that down here before, but it is something we can turn on now. So we've told our people to... Oh, we can also start making tools, too. The craftsman can be told to make different types of things. So we could probably make a biface from that fine stone. And a stone axe, too. I think we can start telling them to start constructing that stuff. So as you can see here, we've ordered a few. Well, let's order another one. We'll have 2 stone axes and 2 stone bifaces. One more complicated than the other, but both constructions should get us started as soon as those teams are ready. And the crafting team could probably use a few more people, which it has 3 out of 6. So anybody who's not feeling like doing the basic gathering can go work over there. In fact, we got 12 out of 12, so that's pretty important as we build our house. Getting close. What are they short on? Lack of straw, so it just needs to be transported. So they are doing their thing. So to be honest, this wall is probably built a little too early. I think it was just kind of for demonstration purposes, but they did clear out all the materials underneath. All those sticks and such that were over on this side are gone, and it looks like they might clear this area out too. And I'm seeing less rocks and things around. So our people are getting really smart with storing those things. And they are, right there. A large boulder. And some other rocks being brought over. And more of those rocks have to be transported to the other side of the camp, too. We'll have to make another storage area for that. Now, I'll admit, my first time here is a little messy. But honestly, for this being the beginning of mankind, this is actually quite organized. The fact that we've already created piles or areas to store things, and we only store one thing there, and that the people know where to go to get them, and that we're kind of settling down permanently with stones as our permanent building block rather than just moving on continuously and migrating is a big step. Let's build one more little storage area here. Under structures, we'll build one more area for fine stone, I believe, if we can. Again, we don't want that mode. We want this one. Good. And we'll put something else there. Looks like we can store tools there too. We'll put fine stone there. Regular stones here. And then of course we'll need areas for tools to be put down too. Very tedious to put all these things down. They all need a little destination to be stored, otherwise they might not produce them. So we'll put some storage areas near the camp for certain things, such as tools, where they'll be frequently visited by people in the camp. So we'll go with, let's see, some stone axes here, and a biface, and we'll put other things down here too if needed. Like, for example, it looks like they still need to construct the pit, which isn't just finished. They're very close to being finished. Alright, let's continue to zip on. So we're in May now of our first year, and actually, it's between May and March. So we don't really know the months yet, but this is probably when spring will become summer and things will heat up a bit more. And that'll give us some time to get ready for winter by cutting down logs for heating for our homes. Wow, this is really nice that you can actually see everything. You can actually see where our camp is going to be laid out. Now, we need lighting or something like that. I don't see that as an option yet under decorations, but it would be cool to have some torches or something that would burn for free, just so that way you can see your camp. We'll speed things up even further. Ah, the game auto-saves again. Good. We've made some wonderful progress here. I want to really do a full playthrough on this game and learn from my previous mistakes and from things that I just didn't know before, and do more in this game too. So again, if you want to see more of this game, let me know down below in that comment section, because I have just the absolute highest hopes for this game and being really better than it already is. Enemies to fight, raiders, for example, are promised to be coming, and we've already got defensive walls, so it's quite obvious that that's something that's planned. We'll see things like animal husbandry. We'll see things like perhaps trading. Maybe not soon, but definitely a chance to be able to see maybe boats on the water. The ability to go from using wood to making brick shorelines and to have docks and things like that, and to actually build ships and go explore areas around would be insane. To settle down with other people and try to trade with them would be so cool, rather than just as being a trader dropping in on the map too. But that's a good option to start with. Dawn of Man made many changes and many strides throughout its time, and it went really well. And I've really enjoyed that game. And so this is very comparable, and I really like it. Lack of straw now, 61. How are we doing over here with straw? Well, we only have 377, so to be fair, it's not that much. No, it's quite a bit. I want them to build this home right over here, but they're busy doing other things. All right, let's go back and change some of our jobs here. So let's tell one of our groups, the Gathering Non-Stop group, to disband a little bit. I honestly think we have enough materials now, and I would like them to go down to a few people. And right now, what we need more than anything is for people to either construct things or to be making rope or to be working on the wall clearing area. Let's check over here. It looks like they may have cleared some of this area out. This area is still pretty messy, but this is looking a little cleaner. They might stop to pick up a stick or two unrelated to the wall because they're just being assigned to gathering sticks. All right, let's see. Ooh, somebody's thinking about leaving. Oh, yes, he's hungry and he had to sleep in the open. That's all right, bro. We'll get you situated shortly. But it's a very good example of what there is to do in this game and how to get started. The house is almost complete. Man, did that take a long time to build. The top of the house is almost done. 117 out of 200. So they'll have to complete that ceiling there. Incredible amount of time. Seems like they want more food first, and then, of course, the ability to rest. And I'm assuming we don't have food yet, technically, because this is not complete either. With this, berries can be put down, and then it'll be a much better situation. Let's speed up time a little bit more. All right, the fire pit is done, so now food can be made, and people can go there to rest and gather. So it provides a resting spot and an area to sleep, a place for people to sleep next to. It keeps them warm. A place to meet, cook, sleep, get warm, and tell stories. So that's definitely a very big thing. That's like a movie theater, mall. This is everything. It's a mega mall, movie theater. This is the hot spot on Earth right now, literally. It's where everyone wants to gather. All right, well, with that place complete, let's check this out again. 116. We went in reverse. How did we lose one? That's all good. They're working on all these other homes, too. It's probably easier to build them one at a time, but that's why you do the priorities. And that's why I'm hoping that they build these first three first, and then move on to the other ones. Wow, that's amazing. So in order to get more food, we can also fish by building harpoons and such with the workforce, with the manufacturers, or what are they called? The tinkers? How exactly are they designated here? Let's see. They call them the Raptorians. No, they are called the craftsmen, right? So the craftsmen right now are assigned to making ropes, and we probably want to add some more things to that list too. So let's add a few more things. Well, looks like we could assign them to more homes if we want to. But ropes are probably the first thing that we should have them do non-stop, honestly. Because those get immediately eaten up by the homes. So that's why we have so many people assigned to making ropes. They only need plant fiber, so there's plenty there. And it looks like there's only 2 ropes left. So they are using them quite frequently to drop off at those construction sites. Quite ambitious to go this big at the start, but everybody needs a home and everybody's hungry and needs something to eat. Are these angry faces above their face? Yes, indeed. I'm famished and had to sleep in the open. A little upset. Clumsy, strong, and smart. Oh, how can you be clumsy and smart at the same time? I guess it's possible, huh? Let's see some more things about them. Their culture, Mesolithic era. Humans lived in groups and tribes. That's so cool. There's more detail to learn about everybody. No personal stories or anything about them. It's not like he was an attorney that fell on hard times and had to abandon himself back in the old times. Let's see here. Alright, so now this is finally completed. That's great. Or actually, no, it's not, but it's lit. That's interesting. Well, it provides services, but maybe it needs constant maintenance in order to keep functioning. So you'd think instead of it requiring stone, it would require wood, but that's fine. Very good. Alright, can we cancel this wall? I don't really intend to build this. Let's see if there's a way where we can undo the construction of that. Let's see. Oh, we can only do it a section at a time. Well, that's going to be tedious. But actually, this allows us to build entrances instead. I don't know if gates are a thing at the moment. I don't see them in the construction menu, but there might be an option after it's constructed to then convert it to a gate, where then you can allow people to get in and out easily. I guess we'll just build some ins and outs here to start with, just for easy access to things. So one here to get down to the river, and another one to go this way up towards the forest and such at the top. Boy, day-night really goes fast in this game, doesn't it? Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing indeed. All right, how's chopping going? Looks like we've got some people wanting to go and do chopping. They probably are actually cutting things down. We don't have any storage areas assigned for that, so it would be nice, though, for simplicity to have a multi-storage site. So, for example, if you just wanted to put all the wood in one area, whether it be sticks or whether it be branches or logs or whatever, or stones, that way you don't have to have as many storage areas. You can have a larger storage area, so you don't have to make more of them, but that it just covers one area much more easily. All right, let's store some logs then outside. So next time we build, we'll try to keep everything outside the camp, though this is kind of our first time doing it, so lessons learned, and it'll make things better. No harm. Everything will be okay. Not a problem. Beautiful. You can also see the temperature increasing, too. It's later in the evening, and it's now 13°C, which doesn't sound very warm. But the fact that this is shortly after the, and by shortly I mean several thousand years after the Ice Age, and with night approaching, that's actually quite good. Very good. I cannot wait for those walls to go up. I can't wait to see what they do next. I can't wait to see our people doing fishing with spears and finishing up some of the things that they need in order to get food. And I wonder if they can get water themselves. We'll have to see if they actually go down there for that. But a few more things to be constructed. It looks like they're almost done with a lot of things. A lot of these projects are nearing completion or just starting construction. So it's good to see a little mix of everything. And the more we play and the more this game gets developed, the greater it will be. And I like it a lot. And I like the fact that things seem to be a little bit more customizable than Dawn of Man, where it doesn't, not Dawn of Man being on a grid, but this just seems to be a little bit more free-forming. And this camp is going to look amazing when it's done. Right now it's just a black screen, but soon we will make it into something great. You guys have been great. Thank you very much for smashing the like button and subscribing here. You guys are just astounding, so I appreciate that. We are now skipping night to the next day. Smash like on the way out. Become a subscriber. Don't forget, only 1 out of 2 people are subscribed. That's half, baby. Let's get it up to that 1 million, and I will be back for more of Ancient Cities tomorrow. You guys have been amazing. Thank you very much. Give me your tips and tricks if you learned anything throughout the tutorials, if you've been playing yourself, and if you've gotten the game, let me know too. Glory to Raptoria down below in the comment section, and I'll see you all very soon. Good night, good evening, good day. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.